It's that time of the month again. No, not that time. The time for the monthly look back what we achieved in September. As always, I basically start with the overview and then I move into the specific details about each of the current things I am doing and what were achieved and what I learned or what I would change. So first of all, we were able to collect 813,000 Satoshi in Bitcoin, so 0.008 Bitcoin. This was mainly from Pionex or completely from Pionex alone, as I had to close some of the Bitcoin growth bots in this case because they were going out of range and they printed hard. Well, there was also a little bit of Ethereum. We collected a very small amount of XRP, also from Pionex, but this was basically the bot is still running and I had one stop loss in where I basically put it break even at what triggered, and then I started a new bot with better entry price, and this is still running, so that's why I have nothing to show for that here. We collected in overall 10 Gomining tokens, so we were net positive on the Gomining tokens. We have collected 0.83 Sol. This is completely again from Pionex. We made $864 in cash from the USTD or USD because stocks is also in here. We made 84,000 Pepe. You can perfectly see this is only coming from Coindepo. You can see the daily interest rate change or a compounding effect actually from 66 to 84. XLM also completely Coindepo. You can see here. Shiba, I don't know what I made wrong. I downloaded both files, but it didn't grow. I need to recheck that. But also the August had 1 day more, so maybe that's where this is outliers coming from. But on Dodge you see the same, and that it's growing. DAI also only Coindepo. New to the addition is USDC. This is coming from the affiliate program from Coindepo, so I'm getting a bit of USDC, and this is put into the USDT daily interest account. I could change it, but also generating interest now. And in this September, we have finally managed to launch the Coindepo token. So now I can basically list this as here, as I was part of the pre-sale. And from the complete September, from the interest rate, I collected 197 Coindepo token. But you need to remember these tokens are currently with a special interest for, I think, until 10th of October you get 50% APR, and then it drops to the normal rate. So I'm currently getting super high interest rates, and this since the beginning of the pre-sale. So that's why the September was super lucrative regarding the Coindepo token, and the price is also better than expected. I mean, it was listed at 10 cents and now is around 8 cents, so it didn't drop as hard as I would imagine, and I'm interested to see how the project and this coin evolves. Alright, heading into Pionex first. As I already said, most complete Ethereum came from Pionex. So we have the Ethereum bot, which is basically collected as 0.00205. I had some other Ethereum which I sold, so that's why it's not in the statistics here. I closed my BTC growth bots, and I currently have a new one running. Let's see how this one does. But in total, after a couple of times where I extracted, this is not included here. This is the rest was basically just the trend PNL and a bit of grid. Made 800,000 Satoshi by I think 1.8 million Satoshi investment. So more or less 50% on top of what I already extracted, which I think were like 300,000. This is something from the August section. I had multiple USDT grid bots running for multiple coins like Injective and some other stuff, which netted me 336. There was also one complete failure in it, which made minus 50, so the complete investment was liquidated. I was trying DCA bots shorting for coins that made more than 100% in the day, and in the beginning it looked like it was really working, but yeah, it was just a gamble. The first 2-3 bots I had looked like it would be running very well, and then I had this complete disaster of a bot, so that's why I stopped it again. I need to revisit this idea in general, because there are so many shit tokens out there, and you can be pumped for no reason at all, and what goes up needs to come down. At least that was my idea. And with shit tokens, I mean, which have no affiliation with anything substantial, like for example the Asta coin coin that's just currently pumping hard, but it's has some use cases. So this was something I would not consider that. I actually have a long bot running on there. Let's see how that one does. I have now a XRP bot running. I had one as well, and I'm not sure how suitable this approach is, but when the bot is like 10% in the plus, I set a stop loss to the break even, so where I entered in. The idea is that when it comes back, I get at least the grid rewards, and the rest is basically break even. And this happened here. This is why this 1.23 XRP came into being, because I had a Coindepo bot running. It got into the green. I moved the stop loss to break even, and then everything crashed. And yeah, I got stopped out, and I just collected the grid rewards. I mean, it was risk-free at that point. The idea was, let's see where it moves. So yeah, this was, I don't know, maybe I'm too aggressive with putting the stop loss, because afterwards it recovered again. But hey, I think I need to adjust and see what the best way to do this stuff is here. All right, then I had a Sol bot, or I still have. This one is running forever already, and I'm extracting profits left and right. And in this case, I extracted 0.83 Sol from that bot. Same with another bot. This is currently more or less, yeah, break even again after red, after green, and I extracted the grid profits from that. So this is more or less, I think, half a month of grid profits I extracted from the ADA Coindepo bot, which net me 21.55 ADA, with which I started a new Coindepo bot at the lower entry price. Let's see how this one does. So this is something probably for the October review. In the USDT, now we are in the dual investment section. I started to lean more into dual investment. The October will be full of dual investment. I already had a couple of them. And in this case, I'm trying a new approach with dual investment to slowly but surely increase my Bitcoin holdings. And I decided to have a rule set. I'm currently trying that out, so maybe I'll make a video about it in the future. And for now, I got from the dual investment $33.75. I am now doing dual investment only in Bitcoin. I skipped Ethereum completely, and maybe this is the right approach, maybe not. I don't care, because I believe in Bitcoin and I don't mind holding more Bitcoin. From Ethereum point of view, I am not so sure. So I definitely plan to reduce my exposure to Ethereum when we reach 5K, if we reach 5K. And yeah, so speaking of increasing my Bitcoin holdings with dual investment, I collected 6,750 Satoshi in this case. These are basically the last couple of days of September. I started this end of September, and with not too much of an investment, so I'm happy with that. Let's see how we grow. The road to 1 Bitcoin, let's go. You will see. No, Ethereum. From the Solana bot, which I withdrew, I tried to sell high dual investment. It didn't work. So what I mean with it didn't work, the price wasn't executed, so I just got more Sol. Hey, oh no. So I got a little bit more Sol. Before I started the ADA bot with the 21 ADA, I also tried the same with that one, because at that point ADA was way higher. So I tried, it's a good idea to DCA out with the dual investment, which I think in general is a good idea to use the sell high as a DCA out. Depends on what your goals are, right? You have still the problem with the dual investment that when you're not triggered, you have not sold. So you need to have reached the price at a certain point of time, while when you just want to sell, you can at a specific price. This is not working. Then you need to go back to limit orders. But this is way too much in detail about Pionex. If you're interested in that, you can look at any of my other videos. Moving on to Gomining. So in Gomining, again, I did not pay me out any Bitcoin. Instead, I'm currently actively trying to increase my terahash, so my computing power, which I did, but for that I need to have Gomining tokens to pay for the maintenance fees to be actually quite efficient. So I have the approach where I try to toggle between reinvesting in Gomining and reinvesting in terahash, depending on if the Gomining token drop in the evening before I go to bed or not. So the idea is to get it cheaper in the expectation that the price is rising again, and then you have initially got more token and need less to pay the actual electricity fee. It's working so it didn't make a difference yet. We will see. So I made 377 Gomining token from mining. I paid 406.71 for the electricity fee and maintenance. From tokenomics, so from my locked Gomining token, I received 27.38. You see it's going down. might go up again. The RPR is changing all the time. I got 5 tokens from the bounty program. We reduced the amount you get from the X posts, and I have not had any referral purchases, so for new referrals at least, so that's why this is quite low compared to the other ones. From the referrals, that's why it's also so low. A couple of upgrades, so this basically tells me from the 5% I get when you spend something when you're on my referral. I got 7.23 Gomining token. I stopped completely doing pools, as I said already last month, and this nets me 10 Gomining token positive. I managed to increase my terahash computing power by 4.68, so a little bit more than a month before. And now I also added a column from the ambassador program. So referral and ambassador are not the same. Referral means I get a one-time payment. When you pay something, I get 5% cashback on that. And as I am an ambassador, I get a small cut of the electricity fee you pay. So Gomining takes now from the electricity fee you pay 95%, and I get 5% of that. So, and they can now since September you can pay it out in USDT, which I do, and I make around 10-11 cents a day from the terahash you guys have as my referrals and from the electricity bills you pay. So thanks for that. Moving on to the stocks. So this is also the September overall was not the most interesting one. It had a bit of up and down in the crypto market, and this affected my my stock market as well a bit, as I'm currently way too overexposed in the crypto, also on the stock market. So I got $372 in dividends, which is actually not great. This is mostly coming from MSTY. And MSTY in hindsight was not a good idea to buy, because it's great that you always receive the dividends, but the price of the stock is actually, or if the ETF is actually falling more than the dividends you receive. So I am slowly more or less getting back the money I initially paid in. So I think I need 18 more dividend pays if we keep the $1 dividend alive and break even. But a dividend always triggers a tax event. So it's basically I get the money I put in back and I need to pay taxes on that. So we will see how this evolves. Maybe I cut my losses in the future if the dividend drops below 50 cents per share. Currently the last one was $1.01. It of course is affected by how the strategy stock is actually doing and how volatile the market overall is. So maybe not the best idea to invest there, but we will see. And I sold a couple of covered calls, and this were very far out of the money, so this is why it's a very low number. October will look a bit better, because then I have the SharpLink covered call in there, but as it's expiring in October, I cannot put it in here. And this makes around $493 from the total investment of $23,059, which is around 2%. This is basically my whole September. In October, we can add something new. The newest addition to my incomes is the Nexoramining, which currently has better RPR than Gomining. So it's basically also a data warehouse where you can rent or purchase miners and collect Bitcoin. I made separate videos about that. If you should invest, you need to decide for your own. In my case, there will be not too much in October, because I decided to buy most of this in the pre-sale, meaning I need to wait. So this is basically having a 30 minutes delay on when it's starting to work, but I got it on a discount in this way. So most of them are starting at the end of October. So the November will be the first very, very interesting month for this project. That's all to say about the September. We will do the same in October. Until then, bye bye.